Hey guys, it's Randy Ritchie. This is Arab Wrestlers You Should Know, sponsored by Premier Pro Wrestling, brought to you commercial free. So please like and subscribe. And today we're going to try something different. I'm actually doing this in the daylight before I have to go train people to wrestle professionally. So let's see if I have more gray matter. I don't know. You guys be the judge. I've been listening to some of these, and some of them are pretty damn good if I do say so myself. So I'm hoping with more energy, maybe I'll have more wherewithal, and maybe I'll be able to be even more entertaining and or compelling. So, Arab Wrestlers You Should Know, and we're going to go ahead and talk about Shadia. And I can't pronounce her last name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Let me start by saying the idiot or the idiot who smells it but can't quite find its national anthem is when they hire somebody like Shadia. Hey, that should be me. I've earned that position. What has Shadia done? Now, that being said, let's go ahead and refer to last night or yesterday, Arab Wrestlers You Should Know, in regards to what World Wrestling Entertainment had to do and what the women wrestlers on one of the first crown jewels had to do to conform due to the heavy pressure of the government, which is heavily pressured by religion, by Islam. Okay? I'm not a hater of Islam, but I am a hater of anything extreme, including and not limited to the Puritans, the Quakers, so forth and so on, that defected to the United States, and because of their twisted views of the Old Testament, did incredible damage. And that's kind of how I see, and not just how I see, how it is with the incredible pressure by the old school or the extreme versions of Islam, or I guess the Quran. Now, that being said, I'm just going to talk about, like, for example, apples and oranges. You have Louis Farrakhan, who's now a Muslim. Then you have Muhammad Ali. Do you see what I'm saying? And in a lot of ways, it was really sad to see Muhammad Ali pass because he was a great, great messenger of Islam and very peaceful and loving man. So, back to what I was talking about before. Hey, I'm entitled. I deserves it. What the hell Shadia's done? Shadia was born in 1986. Now listen, she has a bachelor's degree in business administration from the American University of Beirut. She began her career as a TV presenter and voice-over artist for a Dubai-based media group. Her sister Anifa is also a boxing champion in Jordan. Shadia competed in the 2014 World Pro Championship where she got her silver medal in her weight category and bronze medal overall. Shadia is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu athlete and a CrossFit enthusiast, and she participated in an invitation-only WWE tryout along with 40 other men and women from the Middle East and India in February 2017. 3 months later, she was accepted and signed with WWE, becoming the first Arab female from the Middle East until her expected debut January 2018. She told the Jordan Times, "I'm preparing mentally and physically. I'm doing rigorous training with my coach to get me in the best shape before I train full-time at the WWE Performance Center." Now listen. You hear that stuff. You hear what she's accomplished. So that gives you an idea of how she thinks. Why was this, in fact, invitation only, guys and gals? And why did Shadia stick out? Now here, we'll go back to this now. And this is what we talked about yesterday in regards to how things are over there in most Arab countries, especially Saudi. This was in 2018, folks. This is they're just beginning to let people in now. This is like not common. It's not all over Arabia. Saudi women are still denied access to state sports infrastructure. They may not participate in national tournaments or state-organized sports leagues or even attend men's national team matches as spectators. The more than 150 official sports clubs regulated and supported by the General Authority for Sports are not easily accessible to women, and the national competitive tournaments it organizes are for men only. The Saudi National Olympics Committee still does not have a women's section. So now that I've read that, now that you've heard that, why do you think someone like Shadia sticks out? Now, more about Saudi women's sports, and this is what I'm talking about. Sports in the patriarchal society of Saudi Arabia has long been reserved activity for men. Even stadiums for watching sports prohibits females to be present. Yes, I know I told you that, but bear with me. There's more stuff here. Women are able to play in the privacy of their homes or in private schools, but as soon as they step beyond that to play professionally in organized teams in public competitions, they are publicly slammed for going against their natural role. Do you see why I'm saying she stands out, what she was up against just to get where she was, and what kind of character she had that would stick out to World Wrestling Entertainment? It continues to say, the pressure against women in sports is intense and comes from senior figures in a clerical establishment that is closely allied to the ruling Al Saud family. 2010, Sheikh Qadar, who also sits in the Supreme Council for Religious Scholars, renewed a religious edict banning sports for women, which he said will lead to following in the footsteps of the devil. Puritans, Quakers, extremists. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not just a Muslim religion. It's such a powerful religion and so many people that it's just not conforming as quick as Christianity did, let's say, in the United States. Qadar said it's not permitted to request that the government introduce sports in schools for girls because such activity is forbidden in Islam. Such comments from ranking cleric have immense influence in the monarchy, which rules in alliance with the conservative clerics. When Jeddah United returned from a tournament in which they played the Jordanian national team in 2009, a local newspaper published their photograph. Now listen. Until 2012, women could not even participate in the Olympics, and even then, the only two women Olympians were runners. So let's just talk about that just for a second. WWE spends over $90,000 on one person that they sign to a developmental deal. $90,000, okay? That's a lot of money. You can't just throw that away because somebody feels entitled or has been around, whatever. All the things that Shadia on the forefront possesses made her worth investing in. Now what we're going to do is go to, I'm not going to go to Al Jazeera first because they wrote some really cool stuff about Shadia, but I want to go to her wiki and just the biography part, which I already told you that. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me. I'm an old guy, so these things aren't as easy for me as it is for you kids. If you understand. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go to this one here. And I don't want to talk about this yet because I want to finish up with the who, what, when, where, and why she possibly left NXT at the time. Okay. Meet Shadia, and this is from Al Jazeera. Now, I like Al Jazeera, and I figured Al Jazeera is a cool resource because it doesn't have the internet wrestling spin on it, okay? Anyway, they refer to her as the 31-year-old Jordanian She's making history and smashing regional taboos surrounding women's sports. That being said, that means Jordan has got to be more with the times. And even still, it doesn't matter. It's like I'm in Chicago. If Wisconsin was a place where a woman could be free, but Illinois wasn't, you see what I'm saying? So if you got all those states and all those different countries surrounding you, you're still under that pressure, okay? Now, yes, it was never Shadia's plan to become a WWE wrestler. The 31-year-old Jordanian athlete versed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu had built her career on camera as a live events and sports presenter. Can you imagine what that must have been like? This woman is educated, and I'm sure she ended up in Beirut at an American university in Beirut, one way, shape, or form, dancing around the limitations for women. I wanted to be as accomplished as possible as an athlete so I could gain a lot of credibility as a sports entertainment presenter. That's what I had in mind, she told Al Jazeera. Now listen to that. Listen to the type of person this is. She wanted to be an accomplished athlete and thinking it would give her credibility as a presenter, as a commentator, as an announcer. That's her thinking. In 2017, I told you she was invited to that tryout. But spotting her potential to become a WWE superstar, the sports entertainment company offered Shadia a chance to compete at the invitation-only tryout, and she seized the opportunity. Here's what she says. I would like people from the region to first be proud. I would like to make them proud as an athlete and as an entertainer and as the first Arab woman to sign with WWE. And then this brilliant, hardworking girl says it's a really big deal and a very big responsibility. Now think about the statements that she's making. She wants to be an example. She's not self-centered. How does somebody have such incredible drive not be so self-centered? And that's what's wrong with the indie or indie it today. You could say all you want about what you deserve and what you've earned knocking around the indie, showing off for the locker room and yourself. But at the end of the day, I don't know anybody that possesses right now currently that's able to wrestle in wrestling that possesses all this character. That's what you've got to understand. World Wrestling Entertainment wants character. They want the full package. Do you guys understand? So when you're out there thinking that you're going to invent some goofy spots or goofy moves that are going to get you noticed or some goofy gimmick and you keep changing gimmicks, nothing changes the fact that the best gimmicks or characters are a shoot. And if this girl would have stuck around, that potential was worth the $90,000 they invested in her for the 1 year that she was with WWE NXT. Now, she got engaged while she was there to a male wrestler who she was managing named Nasur. And we're going to go ahead and talk about Nasur, not today, but we're going to do him on his own so we can figure it out, you know. But anyway, here's what happens is Nasur, they say that he gave his notice, but in a sense, they're saying that they did that because of a pride thing, if that makes sense. During the COVID stuff, when they were doing what I like to call optimizing, what all businesses do, what all successful businesses had to do and still have to do, because now we go from that shit with the shutdowns and all that crap to this economy, you got to trim some of the fat. And some of the fat sometimes is an investment that you're working on, like Nasur and specifically this woman, Shadia, because you just simply can't afford it at the moment. However, I heard that he was going to be let go because of that, but they were going to keep her for the time being. The initial report of Nasur's departure from WWE entailed that he was going, that he was let go from the company, which led to his fiancee and fellow NXT talent, Shadia, asking to be released as well. Nasser was the first Kuwait man to sign with WWE, and Shadia became the first Arab woman from the Middle East to sign with WWE. They got engaged that January. See what I'm saying? So here's what my concern is. Shadia doesn't work for World Wrestling Entertainment right now or anymore. As part of that culture, they weren't married yet. Okay, I know that they got engaged here in the United States, and they're both from different Arab countries. But it would be customary for her to also leave because her fiance was being released. And I certainly hope that wasn't the case, because once again, that's Dark Ages stuff. But the fact that Shadia even got there in the first place, the WWE saw her as someone worth investing in and taking that chance. Now, I'm sure somebody with the drive that she has and the way that she thinks, Shadia will land on her feet. Did she grow up loving professional wrestling like some of us do? Like, let's say, Sami Zayn, for example, that we were just doing Arab wrestlers you should know about a couple of days ago. No, she wasn't exposed to it. Would she have made a good addition if she could have applied the same principles, push, and drive, coupled with her appearance and fitness level and education level? Hell yes, she would have been worth someone investing in. And some people like Kurt Angle didn't love pro wrestling when they came to pro wrestling, but Kurt Angle, Mark Henry, those are guys that learned to love it, eat, sleep, breathe it, and it was ingrained in their soul. So we'll never know the full potential of what could have happened with Shadia. Anyhow, again, I'm Randy Ritchie. This is Arab Wrestlers You Should Know, sponsored by Premier Pro Wrestling. I've been going off waxing poetic for quite a while now, so please like and subscribe. And if you would be so kind, peruse the links in the description to help support Premier Pro Wrestling.